up? What up? This is Dating Dynamics. We're back with a new video, and this time, this video concerns a duo of YouTubers that you guys know very well, Fresh and Fit. What are we going to talk about today concerning Fresh and Fit?
Well, hey guys, so today we're going to discuss the real reason why Fresh and Fit don't date black women. We're going to give you guys the outlines and the details as to why they stated that they don't deal with the sisters.
Absolutely. We actually have four reasons why we think they don't date black women. We're going to try to think outside the box. We're not going to say the same thing that everybody's been saying on YouTube. We're going to keep it real.
Not just on YouTube, all over the media. This is mainstream, man. People are talking about this all over Twitter. It's all over the place. The Shade Room, come on, it's all over the place.
Joe Budden, all those guys jumped in on it, man, to save the sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're a neutral party. We're just looking at the facts objectively, and we're giving our objective reasoning from there.
Absolutely. Like the first reason I believe is their location, right? Those two guys happen to be in Miami, right? Which is not predominantly a black location in terms of there's not like black women are a minority in Miami, right? It's not like Atlanta, maybe even like Baltimore or Chicago or maybe some areas in New York. In Miami, black women are a minority. These guys have access to primarily the Latinas, some white women. So because they are in a location where black women are a minority, they get to compare to other women and they're like, okay, I have access to these Latinas. I can take them on dates. I meet them at the club. I can actually, meet them on dating apps based on the location. And so because of that, they're more likely to date those other women, right? So the location is the first reason I believe that they don't date black women.
And that's absolutely true because, if they were in a black city, let's say, for instance, Atlanta, it would be much tougher for them to say they're not going to date black women because that would significantly and dramatically reduce their dating pool. But you see in Miami, they can afford to do that and still have the majority of women to, left to choose from. And another reason why I believe that Fresh and Fit don't date black women is because they live in Dade County, right? And Dade County is known to have a lot of black girls from low socioeconomic backgrounds, and especially in cities such as, Carroll City, where Rick Ross is from, and Opelika. As a matter of fact, I know you guys know or at least have heard of the duo of the City Girls. Guess where the City Girls are from?
Tell me about it.
They're from one of them's from Carroll City, the other one's from Opelika. Those are two low socioeconomic cities, and guess what? A lot of black girls from those low socioeconomic backgrounds in Dade County, they do exhibit some of the traits that Fresh was talking about.
Right.
And, and since that's where Fresh and Fit are, that's going to comprise of the majority of the behavior that they see.
Absolutely. When you're dealing with, like you said, low socioeconomic background, it's to be expected. Like the attitude, the ratchetness, if I may say, that's to be expected from those women. So that's absolutely a reason why those guys would say, you know what, we're gonna stay away from those girls over there.
And you know what? That ties in back to the first reason, right? Mm-hmm. Since there aren't that many black women, since black women are a minority in Miami, you're not going to have as large of a diversity in terms of socioeconomic class.
Exactly.
So let's say they were in a blacker city like a Philadelphia or Baltimore, you have established black families where you have women from higher socioeconomic background where you're not going to see the quote unquote ratchet behavior. Right. It's not going to be as common.
The third reason, believe it or not, guys, Fresh and Fit are not Tyrone.
No, they're not.
They're not Tyrone. And I'm not trying to judge, other dudes' looks or anything like that. That's not what this is about. Fresh and Fit do not attract the best black women. They don't have the swag. They don't have the look. They don't have the demeanor that would allow them to attract the best black women, the most attractive black women. And then the second reason is, secondly, the black women that they attract don't give them the best treatment. So you have two things right there that create like a negative, like a bad dynamic
Like a negative
for
feedback loop.
like a negative feedback loop because they're not dealing with the most attractive black women, right? So first of all, for them, that's not good, like they're not dealing with the eights and the nines. They have to deal with the fives and the sixes. So that right there is already bad for their ego. And then number two, when they do deal with a six or a seven, they don't get the best treatment. She's not, giving them compliments. She's not buying them. They're not getting the burning desire that they talk about on their show from black women. So I believe that's another reason why they don't typically date them.
And let me take it another step further. You see, I think there's a cultural component to it as well. So you see, Myron, who's fit, he's Sudanese American, and Fresh, he's from Barbados, right? So when you're dealing with American black women, there are certain cultural traits which you kind of have to exhibit for them to find you attractive. And
Right.
those guys are not coming from the African American background. They're not coming from that. So there's a lot. So there's a lot of traits which they don't exhibit. There's a certain style, a certain swag, a certain je ne sais quoi
A
which they
certain
don't have.
Trey Songz, a certain Chris Brown, they just
The
ain't got
charisma.
it.
Yeah, there's a certain
Right.
charisma. And black women really, really take strongly and take kindly to charisma. And those guys don't have the kind of charisma that black women are looking for.
They
And it's
just
not saying
don't.
that they don't have charisma, but they don't have the charisma which attract those black women specifically. And
Absolutely.
last but not least, guys, I personally think that Fresh and Fit are in environments where they're much more likely to run into the stereotypical quote unquote Shaniquas
That's what
which they
Myron
talk
said.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean those guys, where do they find the girls which, they usually date? I would assume that they find these girls, on
They said primarily nightlife and IG.
exactly. So the black women which you're going to find on nightlife and IG, they're far more likely to exhibit, the ratchet behavior. They're far more likely to exhibit, all those negative attributes which those guys detail on their show.
Right.
Whereas if they were, finding those women in other settings via other dynamics, let's say maybe, just,
At the bar or not
not
even
the
at
bar,
the
but
bar,
like,
like a professional.
let's say a professional setting, or not even a professional setting, let's say in a store or
Right.
going about, you meet a black girl at Whole Foods, she's much less likely to exhibit those ratchet behaviors than if you meet
At
a
church. Nah, man, I'm joking. I'm joking.
absolutely not.
Yeah, and again, location. I think like the location is like the number one factor. Because let's say, for example, if these guys were in a city like, let's say Atlanta, for example, just being in that city, you're more likely to run into decent, attractive, nice black women. Like when we went to Louisiana, right? That's another city where you can actually meet like very nice, attractive type of black women. So I think location is like number one, and I think Miami is like the spot where these guys are dealing with that type of stuff.
And to end it off, guys, we're not saying what Fresh and Fit said. We're not saying that black women are ratchet or none of that. And we're not saying that there aren't nice women in Miami. But what we're saying is the dynamics which Fresh and Fit usually encounter black women are
Right.
much more likely to produce women who produce that kind of behavior, that stereotypical behavior which those guys describe.
Exactly, man. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are we capping or not?
And we want you guys to like and subscribe, guys. Share this for the algo.
Share this video, man. Let Fresh and Fit know we're coming for them.
Yeah. If you guys agree with us, let us know, all right?
Yeah, we'll be in Miami soon anyway.
Yeah, it's Dating Dynamics, and we're out. Peace.